right. I'll be doing biceps today. And as I was walking up to the gym, I was thinking about what I was gonna share my thoughts on today, since I kind of like this new system that I've come up with, just working out and talking about different topics and sharing my opinion, just my view on it. I wanted to speak about arranged marriage, a very probably controversial topic. Arranged marriage and love marriage, especially considering the fact that I am in India. Yeah, it's interesting because in the West, it's quite straightforward. There's no such a thing as arranged marriage unless you come from a specific tradition or religion where you very strictly follow that. Like the Jewish community, they follow that strictly. There's some other communities that follow that strictly. But, most people don't care. It's just, you find a person, you fall in love, and then hopefully at some point you get married. But traditional arranged marriage is quite interesting. And the concept of it is quite interesting. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on today. Speaking about arranged marriage, I was married, or I met my wife, who I've been married to for more than a year now, through an arranged way. So we have an arranged marriage. So I thought it would be interesting to share my thoughts on that. So, why arranged marriage? It's probably a good question. Anyway, if you have been watching my videos or you know anything about me, you should know that I was born into this religious movement where, which originally comes from India, and my whole life I've been living and following those rules. And on top of all of that, I went to the Gurukul, or the traditional Indian school that I was talking about in the previous few videos. And so that's the traditional Vedic Indian way of doing it. And I was fascinated by it, and I thought it was actually very logical, and it made a lot of sense, where, an arranged marriage happens. And that's, I think, a huge misconception for many people. They think arranged marriage is, your parents come to you and tell you, okay, you're getting married on this day to a girl. You're not allowed to see her, you're not allowed to talk to her, you're never, allowed to meet her beforehand and stuff like that. And, you just see each other on the day of the wedding for the first time. So I think that is one way of doing it. But for sure, that's not the kind of arranged marriage that I envisioned when I heard that. What I did think, and I did ask my teachers about it, and I asked a few people about it, and I was quite thrilled when I figured out it wasn't exactly like I just said, but it was parents come together of both families, and then they decide that, okay, this person is suitable for this person, and they're thinking about it, they think of the family, they think of the qualities, they think of the nature and behavior, and they do astrology and all those things. And then after they decide, they come and they tell their kids, for instance me, my wife, and before we met. And then you get to know each other, you get to meet under specific rules and guidelines in specific places, not just anywhere, anytime. And you're watched over to some degree, but you also have a little bit of freedom. Some freedom is also given. And then you get to know each other, and then if you decide that you think it's possible and you think it's doable, then you go back to your parents and you say, okay, we think we can get married. And I was thrilled. I was like, wow, this is actually really simple, really easy. Don't have to do much hard work, don't have to find that person, don't have to figure everything out yourself. It's all done for you. So I was quite thrilled until the age of 17. I was convinced that was gonna be, you know, my future, which eventually it became, but there's a storyline to that. So, like I said, I was quite convinced about this whole idea and that I was gonna follow the tradition and do everything exactly like the Vedic tradition explains and, you know, prefers one to do to achieve optimum goal till I was about 19, 20. I was close to my graduation in school, and even then actually I was, you know, thinking, okay, I need to set myself up. I need to get a job, have a career, or do a business, or whatever, something. And then once I'm able to make money, then, you know, I'll speak to my parents and, you know, they'll find a suitable partner for me. So I was thinking about that, and yeah, I wasn't really, you know, looking for anyone. Then I graduated, then started working, started making a little bit of money. And as soon as I, you know, was making some decent money for India, enough, or, you know, more than the average makes here, which is very little, but in comparison to any other country, it's quite little. But as soon as I started making some good money, I was a little bit taken aback with this idea of something being arranged. I thought, let me try. Now that I've succeeded in, you know, achieving one of my goals, which was starting to make some money, why not try, you know, find a perfect partner and, you know, be that prince who can charm a girl and whatnot. So I was trying to do that. Started hanging out with some girls. And, you know, this whole time I had no interaction. I had never had a girlfriend till I was 21. I've never texted girls, and because I was living in that ashram, and yeah, after that I came out and I was just hanging out with friends who graduated with me. So I started hanging out with some girls. I liked the energy. We would, you know, chill, we would go places, we would eat in a group, not just me and a girl, but in a group of us, maybe 6, 7 friends. We would play games and watch movies, and I really liked that sort of energy or the interaction that you could have. You know, it was something very different. With guys, it's always, you know, ego, and, you know, you harass each other, make fun of each other. And with girls, it wasn't like that. There was, to me, it felt a little bit like magic. I was like, wow, what is this? What is this feeling that I'm having? So I was interested in discovering that. Whew. Yeah, so I started exploring that part of me, I guess, or just I think in every guy's or girl's life when they first meet, you know, different kind of energy. It's quite interesting. So I really like those. I don't know how to even describe it properly. Ideas or feelings, and yeah, started sharing that with friends, and, you know, just talking about it. And one thing led to another, and then decided that I like this girl. Then she left. Then I was kind of sad. Then I found this other girl that I started liking. She also left, and then, anyway, it was an interesting experience. Then I found another girl that I liked, and I was liking her for a while. And, you know, we started hanging out, going out with her and her friend, and eating out, chilling, and yeah, it was an interesting experience. And anyway, at some point my idea was to do it, how to say properly, not to do anything, but to be serious, to be like, okay, are you interested in a relationship, or is this just, you know, games? Because, you know, up to that point, we've never, there was no speaking about it, just like, oh, okay, cool, we're just friends. So, and I wasn't sure if that's what I needed or wanted. Well, I was sure that it wasn't what I needed or wanted, and I wanted to ask her if she was also serious. And one thing led to another, and the time that I wanted to ask her, she couldn't make it, and I was just like, okay, this is a sign from God that it's probably not the one. I don't know why I took it like that. I'm grateful I did. And, you know, because I was like, oh, you want to go for a walk or go hang out? And she was like, yeah, sure. And then went up to her place, and then she was like, no, changed my mind, you can go. And I was devastated. I was upset. I was lost, didn't know what to do. So I just went to the shop, bought myself a whole bunch of junk food, watched a movie, and fell asleep. Woke up the next day and was like, screw all this. I'm gonna try find my love of my life in a little different way. So yeah. Oh. Yeah, so this went on for a while, and then after this girl I started texting another girl, and then I was talking to someone else. All within the span of, I think, 6 to 8 months or something. And then at this point, one of my good friends suggested I speak, or how do you even say it, message his, what's it called? His girlfriend's sister. That was his idea. He was like, oh, she's a nice person, maybe talk to her. I was, oh boy. So I did that. Also didn't go very well. And yeah, after like a few weeks of basically a little bit of ignoring, I was just like, nah, screw this. It's not gonna work out. And then messaged another person, then slid into DMs, and it was quite intense. Maybe 6, 7 people in like 6, 7 months, 8 months. It was an interesting experience, I must say. Yeah, just, talking, messaging, a few Indian girls who still message me on Instagram, which is quite interesting, even though they know that I'm married, and just funny people out there. But yeah, so that was basically that initial experience that I had with relationships, and just talking. I never had any teaching. No one ever taught me that. I never did that when I was younger. So I was 21. 21? No, 22. I think I was 22. No, 21. Experiencing life for the first time, as everybody experiences probably in middle school or high school at the worst. But yeah. So yeah, that was kind of what happened. At least the first part. This also seems like it's gonna be a 2-part video, or yeah, I'll probably speak about it tomorrow, and let's see if I need day after. Also day after. Too lazy to take off my tank top today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to add a little bit of a personal touch, and I guess this is where I went. I thought I wouldn't need 2 parts of the video, or 2 videos to cover this topic, but whatever it is, I'll just speak about it tomorrow. and I guess tell you how I actually met my wife. All right. Peace out. Have a wonderful day.